Kiwis love a good drop. But not everyone loves a drop when it comes to property devaluation.
House values continue to drop, with CoreLogic now saying they've experienced the fastest fall since the global financial crisis.
The GFC, remember that? Back in 2008, over 3 months, the value of property fell 3.4%.
Here in New Zealand, you had people that, for various reasons, were losing jobs, not able to make the repayments on their houses and similar. And so you saw a lot more houses that were having to be sold at a cheaper price. People needed to get rid of them because they couldn't make their own repayments.
Now in 2022, seemingly a million years later, but actually just 14, we've seen prices fall 2.5%.
The increase in interest rates really is meaning that people are struggling to actually make those payments. They're saying, look, I can't afford, what a seller is asking for.
The 2008 crisis disrupted the global economy, and in New Zealand, house prices fell by 15%.
At the moment, expectations aren't that we're heading towards the next GFC. The fact that people have stable income, that a lot of people are in work, gives us a really strong foundation as an economy to keep moving forward.
In that case, should we make the most of this drop? Is now the time to buy?
Joining us now is property podcaster Ed McKnight. Ed, everyone wants to know, does this make it a good time to buy a house?
I think now is definitely a good time to buy a house. Better than when we were all piling in and when house prices were going up. I'll tell you the reason why. First of all, there's a lot more stock on the market, a lot more choice for first-home buyers, and they've got the ability to take more time when they're trying to find the right property. For those property investors as well, a falling market means there's more opportunity to negotiate and find a deal. In fact, 42% of real estate agents actually report that investors are out there trying to get those deals.
If I was to force you to choose a metaphor, Ed, is this market a bubble bursting, a car crashing, or perhaps a balloon slowly deflating?
It's definitely the balloon slowly deflating. You're going to see a lot of commentators out there trying to paint this like the car crash or try to paint it like the bubble burst. I tell you, it ain't.
What about someone who wants to sell their house over the next few years? Should they wait, or if they do wait, might prices go down even further?
They certainly could go down, but if you're an owner-occupier selling your property, just remember you're likely buying in the same market. The people who this is really going to affect are those property investors, or what we call net sellers, people selling more properties than they're buying. But what we are seeing in the market is a lot of property investors holding off, saying, I'm just going to wait for the market to recover, sell my property for what I could late last year.
Ed, even if prices were to go down, say, 15%, weren't they up like 40% over the past 2 years? So should we be freaking out about a dip in prices?
I don't think we should be freaking out about a dip in prices. In fact, if you look at the CoreLogic numbers that they've just released, by their numbers, property prices are still up 9.5% year on year and still way up from what we were pre-COVID. So certainly, unless you are a net seller, you're still well ahead of where you were even 18 months ago.
Ed, in a wee while, I've got 4 houses in Ottawa that I'll be taking to auction. Everything's good in it, fine.
Well, if they've renovated them as well as what I've seen on TV, it's going to be a stunner.
Well, Ed, thanks so much for your wisdom tonight. Appreciate it.
No trouble, team.
Welcome to the project, everyone. Joined by the host of The Block, Mark Richardson, who even when he is here on the project is worrying about the block and that block auction like it's the most important thing in the world.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it's just good stock's good stock.
All right, mate, all right.
I think the message from any of this is don't try and time the market, right? Like if you're in a position to buy and you need to buy to get a house and you have the wherewithal, the numbers stack up, do it.
Yeah.
Don't try and time the bottom or the top.
Right.
History is littered with people who've become victims of that sort of strategy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing you need to think about is how good's your job and how stable is your job, because it's just about being able to service the debt over the next 5, 6, 7 years.
And I suppose if this block auction doesn't go very well, your job's going to be very unstable.
That's why he's got many jobs.
It'll be fine.
That's why Mark has 2 or 3 jobs, because there's always one dropping off there.
Fingers and pies.